Let me see. Hello, everyone. Okay, let me see. Oh, we can do this. Is it staying? Let's wait a little bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this English Live on Bridges of Light International. We are going to be together 1 hour, and we are going to be talking about essence and appearance. As always, let's wait a little bit, and in the meantime I put everything in order here. And as always, I'm gonna thank you that you're gonna be with me, with us this hour. Thank you that you're gonna be watching this whenever you are. Thank you, Bridges of Light, and thank you, Life. Now, today, I'm doing this in London, and every time that I get somewhere else, it takes me a moment to find the right position. Oh, hello, Anna Maria. Hey, hello, Stefano. It's the first time I see you here. Right. Now, we are going to be talking about essence and appearance. Because I always like the live to be live, meaning I like the interaction. Hello, Chiara. I would like you to write what does essence brings to mind to you, and what does appearance. In other words, synthetically, please write what is essence for you, what is appearance. And if you want, you can elaborate and see what is the relationship between them. And then we are going to start discussing about it. And I'll tell you the reason why I did choose actually to talk about this topic, because it was a request. On the Italian side, I asked people what do they want to talk about, and they said they told me, we want to talk about this, essence and appearance. So we talked about it, and it was a very interesting discussion. So I thought, let me use it on the English international side as well. Hello, Joanna. Hello, Miriam. So yes, what is essence to you? What does essence make you think of? Hello, Olga. And what does appearance, hey, hello, Matilda, make you think of? I'm not going to wait here the whole hour. I'll wait a little bit, and then I'll tell you what I think, and we start discussing. Although I very much like the interaction, because I may be starting talking about something, but it's what I feel and what I think, and it is a completely different dynamic if I answer or respond to either one of your comments or one of your questions. Which, by the way, if you have any questions about anything about a subject, ask them. That's when we truly engage. Okay, let me just put the other phone here to see if I'm not reading the comments, or if you're just not writing any comments. Hey, hello, Wendy. How are you? Oh, Wendy, you're not shy. If I tell you, Wendy, tell me what is, very synthetically, what springs to your mind, when you think of the word essence, and what springs to mind when you think of the word appearance? Okay, I tell you very generically, and then we start going more into life examples and more into what could be the usefulness of considering what is essence and what is appearance. Hello, Alessandra. Essence, I regard it as being everything which is at the core of something, the essential. Consciousness is essential. Consciousness, energy. Talking about it in a metaphysical, spiritual way, although metaphysical and spiritual, they're just words. They belong to the world of appearance, I would say, because it's language, it's something that we made up. But at the core of everything, there is essence, there is energy, there is infinite potential. There's pure creation. When it says truth and false, it could be, yes, it could be true and false, although I would like us to consider that, yes, it could be true and false, meaning the essence could be true, and as a matter of fact, the essence probably, it is always true, because the essence being consciousness, being pure energy, being infinite potential, it's always true, yes. Although the appearance, hello Chiara, the appearance could be either false or true, but we consider that. Chiara says, look, appearance can be a mask. Yes, appearance can be a mask, or, hello Giovanna, or it could be the appearance of the essence of the essence. In other words, the mask could be, of course, maybe a personality, or yes, a mask, or something that appears, but could be something that is very in line, very reflecting of the essence. This is what I would like us to consider today, that what we call appearance could be false, although not always. It could be our false assumption, it could be our negative judgment about the word appearance that makes us think or believe that it's false, although it could be true, right? But let me just tell you, so that generally you get my own definition, so you know where I come from when I talk about essence and appearance. I regard essence, as I say, as being pure consciousness, infinite potential, pure energy, and appearance, I regard it as being anything and everything that is manifested. In other words, this is appearance, are you with me? I am appearance, my body is appearance, this wall is appearance. Everything that is materialized in the universe, it's appearance, meaning it appears. Okay, because we think that something that appears is something false, but even this, the universe, if we wanted to look at it in the perspective that the Eastern philosophy have, it's in the realm of Maya, meaning illusion. Which it doesn't mean, I'm not saying that it's not real, of course it's very real. But I think what they mean is that it's not eternal. It doesn't belong to the realm of the absolute. So it doesn't belong to the essence. It's something transcendent. I mean, even the sun, it would take, hello Alessandra, it would take a long time, but even the sun, it's an appearance, meaning it came to be, and now it's losing its energy, and it will disappear. It will transform. The sun, like the earth, our body, everything. It's just as a span of life. So in a way, it's I wouldn't say it's an illusion, but it's an appearance. It appears to be, but it's a manifestation of the essence. But the essence is the core of it. It's something that will never ever cease to exist. But the appearance, for even if it will appear for a long time, like a planet, a star, or whatever else, it will transform. It won't last forever. Alessandra says, my daughter's name is Maya. Great name. Yes, in the East, Maya means illusion. But I think from a philosophical point of view, what is helping us to regard everything that is physical to be an illusion is the fact that it allows us to let go of the suffering that something could bring us, in the sense that it reminds us that everything is transient. I mean, nothing is forever. Even some kind of suffering, even, let's say, an illness, which seems very real, it's an appearance. It's something that in time will dissolve. I mean, even our life, we could have a wonderful life or we could have a very challenging life, but either way, it's this lifetime, it's a dot, so to speak, in infinity. So it won't last forever. It's something that appears out of the essence of life. Hello, Mariella. Thank you, and welcome to you too. And why? Hey, hello, Sylvia. How are you? What do you think it stands in between? Oh, let me read. It's even better than me talking. Alessandra says, I experimented Nirvana 10 years ago. I know what you're saying very well. Oh, thank you. Yes, let me ask you, Alessandra, was it a unexpected experience, or it was during a meditation or something that you were looking for, so to speak? And while you answer, I would like to ask you a question. Why do you think that the appearance of the essence, because as we say, everything that appears, everything that is manifested is the product of the essence, the pure energy, the divine energy, the God energy, call it how you want it. Yeah, nice to see you too, Sylvia. So why would you say that what appears in this universe, it's different? What do you think makes things appearing different in this kind of existence? Hello, Leticia. All 3D dimension is appearance. Yes, yes. That's what I believe too. That everything materialistic, it's the product, is the manifestation of consciousness, of the essence. So everything is essence manifested. Oh, it was unexpected, Alessandra, your awakening. Wow, that must have been amazing. What I'm trying to have you to consider is that between the essence and what appears to be, there is something in between. And according to that something in between, what appears, what is manifested is very different. In other words, we live in the world we live, and the world we live in appears us to be in whatever way it appears to be, because between our essence and what appears, there is what I think Mariella has just written about, the way we approach to things, material or spiritual. Yes, it's the belief. Whatever between the essence and the manifestation of the what we believe about anything. According to what I believe about myself, I will manifest something about myself and I will appear in a certain way. Whatever I believe, whatever my essence believes, and my essence is my energy, my soul, it's filtered, so to speak, by my mind, exactly, belief system perception. Thank you, Wendy. It's filtered between our belief, our mind, okay, which is in relation to the outside world. So according to that, according to my belief, I am going to appear in a certain way. But this is the power we have. Even the outside world, even life, and even other people will appear different to us, to each one of us, according to how we believe them to be. Does it make sense? So there's the essence, there's the beliefs about oneself, about others, about life, and then that influences the appearance, our appearance, and the way others appears to us, and also, according to my belief, others will literally appear different to me, meaning they will be, my beliefs about them will influence their behavior about me. And I'll give you an example, but before I want to read what Alessandro wrote. You have the connection when you have the two parts of the brain in resonance. The right frequency, 7.83 hertz, I think. Mariela says, I can think negative of my Proximus if I have a positive essence. Yes, yes. Let me just stay one comment at a time. Alessandra says you have the connection when you have, yes, I think you mean, that's it, our right brain and our right brain, our logical mind and our intuitive, emotional, creative part, they are not in resonance sometimes. If they are in resonance, our essence is of a certain kind, and yes, our appearance, I think that's what you mean. When the two hemispheres are in resonance, our appearance will be in resonance with our essence. Yes, the right and the left, absolutely. And Mariela says, I can think of a negative of my Proximus if I have negative positive essence. Yes. If I believe, exactly, and I was somebody that before I, let's say, woke up, because before I realized who I was and that life was not probably how I believe it to be, I used to think that very negatively about life and about myself. So I used to see others as being negative, as being my enemy. And that belief was making other people appearing aggressive towards me. But other people were always the same. This is the power of belief. This is how we can even influence the appearance of somebody else, even though their essence is pure, even though their essence is what it is. It's perfect. Mariela said, I can't stand people who live of prejudices. Yes, well, you couldn't have stand me then. If you met me before 2002, I was one of these people. And I can very much understand now how people can have prejudices and can see people filter through their prejudices. And when that happens, they appear to be how they believe themselves to be, meaning not good enough, not worthy of being happy. And other people appear to them like that. So they create prejudices. They create a world full of prejudices. So the only thing that we need to keep in mind is that our essence, it's always pure, it's always perfect. And our appearance can vary according to our beliefs and according to the experience we have with the outside world. Alessandra says, telekinesis is true, telepathy is true, materialization is true. All masters in history did it, not only Jesus and the famous ones. And you know why they did it, how they did it? Wizards are real, magic is real. Yes, they did it because they were only focusing on their essence, on what's inside. They were not judging themselves or other people or the world from the appearance, from the outside. Imagine this is the essence, the red that you see in the coin. This is the essence. And the outside is the appearance. It's very well connected to the essence, but it's different. And I'll tell you why I think it's different now. But before I want to read, Wendy says, Mariela, is that not a prejudice, not being able to stand people who have prejudices? Thank you, Wendy. It could be, yes. If Mariela thinks these people are, well, Mariela, this is for you to ponder upon. You have a good point, Wendy. Mariela, if you think they are judgmental people, you are being, in that moment in time, judgmental towards them. Let's reflect about that. Yes, definitely. But it's different, it depends. It's different if you think, if we feel, I think, I prefer or I don't like very much judgmental people. It's a preference, okay? But we could prefer non-judgmental people, and we may not like judgmental people, but we don't feel any strong emotion. So it's just a preference. But yeah, definitely, if I think they are judgmental people, and while I think and say that they're judgmental people, I feel angry, yes, I am myself victim of the judgment. Yes. Mariela says, I can't say I believe in God, going to church, praying, participating to religious events, and after manifestation. I can't say I believe in God, going to church, praying, participating to religious events, and after manifestate prejudices or criticism. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Mariella. I can't say I believe in God. Okay, yes, going to church, praying, participating to religious events, and after manifesting. But are you talking? I'm trying to understand what you mean here, Mariella. Are you saying to us that some people go to church, pray, they say they believe in God, and then they're manifesting prejudice or criticism? If you're saying that, Mariella, that's easily to understand. I mean, if somebody gets the information given by the conventional church, Christianism is very judgmental. Many people still nowadays, they think that God is judgmental. They believe in the judgment day. So I can understand why people, and sometimes people that they go to church every Sunday, they pray, they're very religious. They are religious people, yes, but they're very judgmental. I was one, okay, I never really gone to church much, but believe me, before 2002, when I was thinking of God, I was thinking of God being judgmental. I was fearful of God. So I can understand, I can relate with people that that they believe in God, but they're very judgmental because they believe that you have to judge. They believe that God is the first person, the first entity to judge, which of course, I think it's a complete untruth. I don't think God judges at all, not at all. But we have given to judge personal human attributes. Okay, so we think that he judges. So of course, if people believe that God is judgmental, and if they believe in that we are judged when we die and all that, of course people judge. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not sure what you meant, Mariella. I'm just saying what I think you wrote. Alessandra say, already you just say the same things, the same thing, and it's true. Yeah, you see, I don't really know what you guys are thinking of, so I don't want to elaborate too much. Hello, Patricia, hello, Julie. But there's something I want you to consider, okay? And I'll tell you what I think is essential and what I think is appearance, and why the appearance sometimes doesn't resonate with the essential. I think that the essential, which is the core of our being, our essence, our soul, is pure love, okay? It's what we feel. The essential, it's about how we feel. how we feel about something, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about others. And ultimately, when we are primarily and ultimately, we always feel love. Think about a child when he's born, is happy, okay, and is loving. Children are not competitive by nature, believe me. That's bananas, it's not true. They've done many experiments. They've done many experiments nowadays where they've seen that children are naturally compassionate. If a 2-year-old child sees another human being, it could be a dog or a cat or another kid or another adult, in pain, he or she is instinctively driven to go and cuddle, to go and help, okay? Because, why? Because children are pure essence. They are connected to their essence. They know who they are. But you know what happens? What happens is, in fact, it's not a coincidence that, and our essence is in the realm, so to speak, of the absolute. Okay, only when we say only love is real is because love is the essence. Everything that is manifested could change, but the raw energy, even if it transforms, is love. But what happens? What happens is this, in this 4-dimensional reality, okay, where there's height, width, depth, and time, there's materiality, there's physicality. So we are confronted with also not just with our essence, but also what appears with the manifested world. And how we feel when we grow up, it goes from being directly connected with our essence to being also connected and influenced by the outside reality. And the outside reality, meaning the appearance, we perceive it through the eyes, okay? The eyes are our windows on the outside world. And you see, the eyes are connected with something, with the mind, the brain. The brain, the mind, it's not inside of ourselves. The brain, it's not in the realm of the absolute. The brain is connected with the realm of the relative. But what the big difference is, that the heart can only do one thing. The heart can only love. At the essence, we are love. When we are connected with ourselves, we are connected with our heart. And our heart is the organ that is very well, it's in the truth of ourselves. It's very well protected. It doesn't see outside. So it doesn't do something that the eyes and the brain do. The brain and the eyes, they compare. They see different things and they compare things. And that is, in the realm of the relative, that is one of the reasons why we suffer very, very much. Is because we compare. Is because we have lost feeling and touch with our essence, who we truly are. And we see the appearance. I should have another coin, which I don't know. Anyway, we see the appearance. Imagine this is another coin. I see the appearance of another coin, which could be bigger or smaller. And according to that, we, like we said before, we make up beliefs that makes us feel different, and we appear different, and our people appear different, when in reality their essence and our essence is the same. But we've got so lost into identifying ourselves with what we see, with what we think about ourselves and others, so with what we believe, that we have sometimes we lose touch with our essence. Do I make any sense? I've seen that Evelyn is here as well. Let me see. Let me write instead of keeping it. Okay. Let me see what you wrote. But let me see what you think about all this. Mariela say it's an ethic, dangerous thought. Adults are responsible of children's mental, spiritual essence. Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's us, adults, that we are responsible of children because we are the one that educate the children. If we are not connected to our essence, if we are not aware of who we truly are, and if we only consider the appearance, if we only consider what we see with our eyes and what we reason upon, yes, we are going to influence the children. And the children are going to be contaminated, so to speak, by what we believe. Absolutely. Hello, Evelyn. Evelyn, what do you think about all this? If you're here, I don't know if you're just passing by. Alessandra says, to understand human power, think like how computers work wirelessly. They send waves. We are biological computers. Telepathy is same like wireless. Absolutely, Alessandra. Have you ever heard of the Rosenthal experiment? I'll tell you what they did. It's a psychological experiment that they've done where they wanted to see how our beliefs were influencing the way we were perceiving the world, but also how other people were influenced by our beliefs. And this is the experiment they've done. First, they did it with children and then with rats, with mice. What they did, they told some teachers in a school that some of their pupils were really clever, really intelligent. And they told them that other pupils, they were not really clever in the subject that they were presenting them. What happened was that at the end of the year, they saw that all the children that the teachers were told were not really good at their subject, they statistically performed in a not very good way, in a lower way. And all the children that the teacher were told that they were really intelligent and they were good at their subject, they statistically performed much better. Okay, but there was so clear that it was obvious that even though the kid was just as intelligent like everybody else, there was no different IQ between this group of children. There was almost like an unspoken agreement, like the kid unconsciously was performing more or less according to what the teachers were believing about him. And the results were so undeniable that they even tried the same experiment with rats. So what they did, they told a group of guys that they were doing this experiment, a group of scientists, that they had to train two groups of rats to go through a maze. And they told them that one group of rats were coming from a family where they were not really clever, and the other group of rats were at the opposite end of the scale. They were really, really intelligent, really clever. And guess what? The group of rats that the guys that they had to train them to go through the maze thought they were not really clever, they performed statistically less than the group that they were believed to be intelligent. So that proved, like Alessandra, you wrote, that we telepathically influence each other, and we actually behave, maybe unconsciously, according to the expectation that somebody else has about us. This is how much our brain is powerful. Mariela said, the essence of love is feeling unconditional love. Yes, this is our true essence. Mariela says, we are waves. Evelyn says, I've just joined, but what you're talking about, I've just had the same discussion with a minister in my home. Evelyn, if you want to pop up and you want to share your experience, you're welcome to. Let me know. And if you do you do whatever you want to do, or I can invite you here. Marie says, so I think the children who are intellectually challenged are incredibly loving and so much nearer to the essence of love and God. They are pure in their approach to life. I agree. I agree. Yes. I think that intellectually challenged children are less conditioned by the intellect like we are. Yes, I do agree. And I think they're much more in tune, they're much more connected with the true essence. Yes. Yes. In fact, even, let's say, autistic children, or any kind of children which they were born with some intellectual disabilities, they are extremely, extremely sensitive. They may not express themselves in the way that we do, because maybe they may not have developed the use of language like we have, but they can pick up sometimes the essence of other people much, much more powerfully than we are. Yes. Hey, hello, Barbara. Alessandra. Evelyn, you might have gone, but as I said, if you want to join us, you're welcome to. That would be great to see what your experience with the minister is. Alessandra's, there you are. Okay, let me see. I just press here. Euphoria and CIA, official site, defines secret paranormal experiment. Now declassified. Search for Gateway Pro. Oh yeah, there's so many things they've done we don't know. Hello, Evelyn. It's great to see you
friend.
here.
I know.
How are you?
I was so glad when I put on Facebook and I seen you here, and I was like, there's Luca, because you've changed time.
Yes, it is. Since September is 5 o'clock. It used to be, and day used to be Wednesday, I think. Now it's Thursday.
It was nice to get you. It was lovely, actually.
How are you?
Now you're going to complete my day. This day has been, the
Really?
amount of people that I've been talking to. So, do you know what? When you came on there, it was feeling home. I felt home. Every time I see you, I always feel there's home.
Great.
I'm going home now.
Well, you'll be coming home very soon.
So there you go. I went and brushed my hair for you and everything.
Wonderful.
Doesn't
Yes,
look it?
I haven't seen you in quite a long time, and now I saw you while I was talking about. Come on, if you were
Yes.
passing by, but yeah, I want to know about the minister and your talk.
Well, we had a beautiful.
Well, they want to know.
This interaction that this particular man, our paths happened to cross one day, and the most unlikeliest of people that you would put together, the two of us, but we've kept up a nice wee friendship. And this was only a couple of weeks ago, so we happened to be passing and he messaged, and I says, come in for tea. Now, you must, like, in the north of Ireland here, there has been a lot of conflict over the years between Protestants and Catholics. So now, for the first time ever, I have a minister in my home. And we think we had more in common than that. He wrote 2 books, so he left me his books and I gave him my books. And we had a beautiful conversation, but that came up. Children was one of the topics as well. And with adults as well, in times of this where we see ourselves as divided, as different, when the oneness seems gone, when we see ourselves as separate, that's where the pain and stuff come in. But you're saying about kiddies there with learning difficulties and things too. I also had the education system in my house this morning as well.
Wow.
So I've had a day, like, that's what I'm saying. Look, I could cry actually seeing you. I'm thinking,
Yes,
so
today we're talking about essence and appearance. And the only thing that I would like people to consider is that we may have sometimes a negative connotation of the word appearance, meaning sometimes we think that the essence is the essence. There's no, it's who we truly are. And then the appearance is sometimes it's just like a fake or a mask or whatever. And I'm saying, yes, it could be. Or it could be actually that what appears, it could be actually in resonance. It could actually be the manifestation of what the true essence could be like, if it makes sense.
Yes.
And yes, so and I think what we are all trying to do in this group, for example, is to be able to make our appearance to appear as our essence is. In other words, the word of manifestation exists anyway. Everything is appearing, but it doesn't mean that everything it's wrong or it's bad. So even when somebody may appear different from us, even if somebody could appear in a way that we may think, oh, it's not actually coming from expressing its true essence. I think if we can transcend our limitation and maybe our judgment, we could actually see and connect with their true essence and see beyond what we believe about them to be. Do you know what
And
I mean?
that's exactly in all the situations today what took place
Yeah.
is to remove the perception
Yes.
from, I think, the essence of it as well. Where when that gentleman sat today with me, when I did not see or perceive the collar that he wore around his neck,
Yeah.
where I was curious to ask him, tell me where this came, because I feel that, but I feel that's the
Yeah.
thing when you come to that piece. And now he, as a minister, is sitting inspired by me. Now, this is
Yes.
somebody that we would have looked upon as they have all the answers, they know their Bible, they know this. But now he found peace in my home, in our
Yeah.
conversation, because that's when we find it in ourselves, and that's what exudes from the outside, isn't it? Isn't it the connection? And this
Absolutely.
morning, when that lady said with my son, who does not want to go through or finish his education, when we say about when people do not know how to express themselves, and especially young people,
Yeah.
and they only know so many words, and when they have a feeling they can't be heard, it goes into rage, it goes into
Yeah.
curse, it goes into slam on doors and angry. But
Yes.
when the person can remove and see that that is not disrespect, that it is not, they have no manners, that it is
Yes.
just sheer frustration, you're not hearing me, and you're forcing me into something that I am not happy doing. And
Yes.
that's where we have to see things sometimes a wee bit differently. But one wee last thing, you're saying about autism. I always went and taught dancing at primary schools. And there was one little boy, and I always remember him, and he never had any interest in any of the routines we were doing because they were too easy. They were too easy. And the most complicated thing, I had said to him, would you be my partner? And it was to do with hands. And this got really quick. And he nailed it every time. And see the focus? He never lost contact with me. And
Wow.
the other children couldn't do it. And as soon as that stopped, he walked about and he looked at the corners. And I always felt that he was seeing more than I could see anyway. I
Yeah.
felt because he was in a different wee place, he was connecting to much more. So I felt so blessed that he spent that wee bit of time to connect with me, because he's going to now go off and connect with some other lovely, beautiful things that I can't see at this stage.
Yes. 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 And I think that, well, what I feel is that both connections you had with the minister and with this autistic boy, it was an essential, so to speak, connection. You because of how connected you are with who you truly are, with your essence. You resonated with the minister and with the boy. Yes. Yes. And yeah, and with children with disabilities, really, that's what they connect with our love, with our essence. But I mean everybody anyway, definitely everybody. Which I see really, it's not the theories that help somebody. It's not the modality we use. It's nothing. It's our love, really. You have to, I really truly believe, when you with everybody or with clients, with anybody, you have to fall in love with them, so to speak, in a way. And that is the healing power. That is what it's moves mountain. Really, I think that's what we're here to do. but not just me and you, everybody's here to do, consciously or unconsciously. And if you don't mind, I want to read what Mariella wrote. It's quite a bit of it. And then we comment on this. She says, you teacher, you can't make this deploy differences because you create a negative approach and a self-estimate destroyed in those pupils you judged less prepared or intelligent. The reality win for a teacher is working to have balance, even if there are different abilities. She might have referred to the experiment. I don't know if you heard it, when the Rosenthal effect, when they told that some pupils were more intelligent or not. Yes. Yes. So here is the $1 million question for everybody. Hello, Carrie. How can we be objective? And is there such a thing of being truly, truly 100% objective in life?
Explain that to me.
Yeah, I'm talking about okay, when you are when you are confronted with somebody or with a situation, is it possible to be totally objective, meaning to literally do not go into right, wrong, good, bad? And I say that based on what we were talking about, based on the fact that the teachers were told that some of the students, some of the pupils were more intelligent. So subconscious, they believe, okay, they're more intelligent, so they were performing better. And with other ones, they say they're not really intelligent. So they will filter everything by their beliefs. So my question is, when we know how this works, how can we then apply it into our life in order to be more, I like to say, neutral? To me, when we are not in judgment, where we don't think is right or wrong, is good or bad, I regard it as getting into a place of neutrality, which to me doesn't mean we are aloof or detached. To the opposite, to the contrary, is a state of presence and duality and oneness. When you're neutral, meaning you don't evaluate.
What the years that I have come through this last, I'd say 4 years with the education system, with two teenage boys, and I'm near the end. That's all I can say. I'm near the end of this very rocky road. But what I have come to see, and I've seen both sides, I saw the education system where the teachers are academically results. They need to achieve results, and that's what they believe they are there for, and that's why I'm here. Then we have the other side of those that, and I've gone through this, of the boys that could not get this. They didn't understand the concept of this learning. What was the point in this learning? No interest in it. So now we're classed as bad behavior because we're not conforming. So there was another thing, but you had to be classed as a bad boy or could not conform, and you were put into another place. And this other place was absolutely beautiful because now I'm at a different place. For me, it was good because I understood emotions and feelings. So this other place were again teachers, but they dealt with the emotion. They removed they removed the what would have been labels from the child and saw it differently. But one end could not. This is your job to deal with emotions. We're here to get results.
Yes.
And if you don't go down this road, they could only see your behaviour as you weren't conforming, you weren't doing the rules, you were being different, so you were classed as bad or misbehaved or a risk. And then perhaps you got to this other one, which was a blessing for me, and that's the lady that I had this morning, because she deals with emotions, she deals with the feelings rather than the other end. But I see both sides because I've experienced both sides, and I know that one can't understand the one that comes from the academic, the thought, because they have gone through it themselves and that's all they've ever known, and perhaps they've never experienced emotions and feelings, and that doesn't come
Yes.
into it. Love won't get you a job, happiness won't find you a job, anxiety doesn't, so they don't understand that part. They've never experienced it. So I've had to come to learn, because I used to get so angry myself. Can you not see? And then I was labeling them as bad or good. This one was bad, this one was
And
good.
everyone's good.
But now I just see that they're coming at it from different levels, but I knew what felt better for the boys as well.
Pain. Yes, which is amazing. While you were saying that, I was reading, I'm reading it for everybody now. Mariella wrote a comment, which is basically your experience told about it. She wrote, a child's value depends on his beautiful essence, not numbers. Although it's important to keep in mind, I think, like what you, Evelyn, said, that for some people, because of their job, they are interested in numbers, in performance, yes. So that's
That's
what they
correct.
focus on, yes. And other people, and thank God that there's some teachers now that they actually are interested in the emotional side, in the essence.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's
thank
some
you.
people are emotionally disconnected because it is a business.
Yeah,
And there's
oh,
targets, and children are a target. There's targets to achieve, there's numbers to
yes,
achieve in order to get funding and things. And if you've always been in that system and you've never known that system, because if you're into a teaching profession, you've always been in school and you've just stepped back into it again at a different age.
yes, absolutely. And yes, and the thing is also is that if there are some people that they lived all their life and they never really connected to the essence long enough to acquire a good taste out of it. I give you an example. You know, we know that children are pure essence. And yes, some children, they start to get really victims of their mental conditioning when they're like 5, 6, 7 years old or whenever else. So some of them, they had a good taste of their essence. So maybe they go through many years of their life, but maybe come 20, 30, 40, they wake up, so to speak, they think enough is enough. I know who I am and I want to be who I truly are. But you know what, guys? Not for everybody's like this. Not every children has got the same uh, lack of being conditioned as much as normally everybody's conditioned. Some children, they were brought up in families or in institution, anyway, in context when they almost never had a good taste of their essence. So for them, it was all about rules, rules, rules. So for them, life, what we consider to be love, it's a different language for them. Do you know what I mean? So it's, and again, going to why it's important to talk about all this, it's because, but like Leticia writes, many times our objectivity depends on our subjectivity. Exactly. It's up to us to know that unless I am really aware of what is my essence, I maybe could help somebody else to connect to that. What do you think? But if I don't, if I haven't had a taste of my essence, and this is what I want to have you to consider, is that some people, they never really connected to their own essence. So it's important. Let's not judge them. It's not good thinking they should behave differently. They should be loving, but they don't know.
And
Today, what do you think?
that's the expectations. That was a word that came up quite a lot today. When we have an
Yes.
expectation on someone else to behave a certain way, and then we're disappointed and we're let down because they're not responding as the way what we would expect it, or the way we would have responded in the same situation. And then when we hold an expectation on someone, we're disappointed,
Yes.
we're let down, and therefore there's no need for us to get angry if someone has an expectation on me. I've said this before, if people have expectations on me, good luck. I can only be
Exactly.
me. I can only
Yes.
offer what it is me. But we're saying there with kids to our own essence, Luca, and sometimes as parents, we have to take steps that is out of the norm, that doesn't follow the norm. And
Yes.
that's where I come in, I believe, for me. actions that I chose to take today are that if a man-made rule says this, well, I'm prepared to go down this route. I'm prepared to do this because my main importance and my obligation is for my children's well-being, their mental well-being and their happiness. And I will do
Yes.
what that takes in order, should that mean come against the system, so be it. Because I
Wonderful.
know what my truth is, what I believe I'm always gated and protected. So it's
Yes.
to step out fear and do what we have to do. And it's not to fight against people, because I know people have their jobs. And
Yes.
this is what it is. That's all they know. This is what I know. And this is what you know. So let's do the no together. Sometimes it's no, but that's it, isn't it? Yeah, but I think when you come to that peace inside, it does, things can be so sweeter and easier.
Yes.
And
Absolutely. Because even if somebody is seeing something completely in a different way, different perspective, maybe their concept of love is not like you. If they feel heard and understood, and if you're willing to actually take on board what they're saying, it's half of the job is already done. Because then maybe they are open and willing to see what you have to say. And even if there's no common ground, it's different to say, no, I don't want to do something, or I don't agree with this, from a space of emotional negative charge or serenity. Does it make sense? Because when we are at the
absolutely.
serene place, we are connected with the essence of somebody else, regardless to what their ideal is.
Well, that's like
Thank you.
me on my visit to see you.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
all changed, and I'm like, whatever.
Wonderful. One, guys, we only have 2 minutes, but I like what I haven't read it yet, but Wendy wrote something that I like us to consider. And Luca, following on what you are saying, what do you think about the teaching we are all born asleep? If I think we are all born asleep, yes and no, I think. Yes and no. That's a very, very great question. I think that at a certain level, we know everything, but at another level, we are asleep. I think by design, when we're born, we forget that we know, but I think deep down we do know. It's about remembering. But that's it. What would you say, Evelyn? So yes
Yeah,
and no, I'd say.
completely. Yeah, born into that dance. We're born into the experience. I think
I
we're born
think,
into the growth. And that means to forget nearly that we have, but it's there,
yeah,
and it'll come about when it's to come about. I think we're born into the growth, and the joy, the sorrow, the happiness. We're born in all of them things. And there's a lot of people still go about with their eyes wide shut. But
yes,
that's not for me to judge. It's a hard life,
no,
and whatever people choose is their life.
absolutely, absolutely. And yes, I think, well, we have to close it now almost, but as long as, like everything, just my simple opinion, I think if we can connect in whatever way, shape, or form with our essence, and how do we know if we are connected with our essence? If we feel a deep sense of peace inside, and even more so, if we are in a situation where outside there's almost like turmoil and conflict, but inside we come from a state of peace, I think I would say we're coming from a sense of essence. And from that sense of essence, if we can see, feel, know that there is that sense of inner peace in somebody else, we may allow them to be there, I would think.
You just feel it.
You just feel it, yes.
I feel your goodness and your badness. No labels, you just look at
Yeah,
that's your
yes,
essence. It's not your essence. I see
yeah.
it, I know it, because it's in me. I've got it too.
Yes. But thank you so much for being so coming on.
Thank
That was
you.
beautiful.
Thank you for taking me home today.
Wonderful.
Namaste.
Namaste. I love you. And I love you, Wendy, and everybody there. Ciao, guys. I'll
Bye
see
bye.
you actually. Normally it's every Thursday, but next Thursday I'll be flying back to Italy. So it will be in 2 Thursday, but I'll write it anyway on the side. Ciao. See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye.